Hey guys, it's Kelly. So today I'm going to be talking about books versus their movie adaptations. Is the book really always better than the movie, or can there be some cases where the movie is better than the book, or some cases where they're actually equal? Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a list of books and their movie adaptations, and I will be putting them into 3 categories. The first proves my point that books really are better than the movies. Then I also have a second category where the movie was actually better than the book. And the third category is where they're both equal. They're equally fantastic. Of course, this is all based on personal opinion, so don't be offended if I say the movie was better than this particular book, because it's all my opinion, so... So, let's get started. The first category is books that are better than their movie adaptations. I think this is the case for majority of book to movie adaptations. I just think generally the book offers you so much more that the movie doesn't. So with that being said, here are some of the books that are better than their movies. Harry Potter, it's a given. Percy Jackson, the entire Percy Jackson franchise is ooh, I'm gonna bleep that out. Don't you worry, it's just bad. If you never watched the Percy Jackson movies, good for you, because I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy, especially Sea of Monsters. Oh, Sea of Monsters, let me tell you. Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. Guys, this was just bad. This was a train wreck. I didn't like it. For the most part, I thought they were good, well casted, but overall, it just wasn't good. It wasn't very well executed. Miss Peregrine's. Can we just talk about, spoiler alert, the skeletons? The skeletons who were magically animated? What the heck? The Giver! Taylor Swift, as much as she's really cool, made a random appearance in The Giver? Why? The Great Gatsby! I'm talking about the one with Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, but also the other one that was made before that. I forgot who that's starring, but that was that wasn't good either. Even though the movie adaptation was good, I think it just was generally lacking. It was just a fun movie to watch, but after reading the book, you realize, wow, there were so many things that weren't really included. My hair is doing weird things. Okay, if I say, next one. In the book, there's more of a family aspect, and family is so important in the novel that it just wasn't portrayed on screen. And I think that was one of the things that I just didn't like about the movie portrayal. They really focused more on the main character's relationship with her love interest rather than her family, and I didn't really like that because I'm all about the family, and it just was lacking. Insurgent, or generally all of the Divergent movies, the book was just so much better. I don't know. Now, in some cases, you could also make the argument that, hey, the movies were actually pretty good. They were pretty well made if you didn't read the book first. But for me, I'm that person that always has to read the book before I watch the movie. So with that being said, comparisons are always made as I watch this movie after reading the book. So for example, 2 of my friends saw the Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief movie before they read the Percy Jackson books, and they thought that the movie was really, really good. I, on the other hand, had read the book before seeing the movie, so that's why I didn't think the movie was all too great. But once again, we're talking about the film adaptations in comparison to the books. I'm not generally talking about cinematic masterpieces or whatever, but just general accuracy related to books. Movies are lacking. And then, that being said, what makes a good book-to-movie adaptation? What makes a movie really, really good so you don't think, wow, this is trash in comparison to its book counterpart? For me, I think accuracy is a very big key if they follow the plot. For example, Percy Jackson. What is going on there? We don't know. Accuracy of plot in addition to accuracy of characters. Why was Annabeth's hair brown? We don't know. So stuff like that is how I can determine what a good movie adaptation is. However, there are other things that add to what makes a good book-to-movie adaptation, and those are just some of the things that I look for when watching a book-to-movie adaptation, comparing it with its book counterpart. Next category is movies that were actually better than their books. Now, this doesn't happen often. I have only 2 movies on this list that were better than their book counterparts. However, I think one of the things that makes movies so great is the unfolding in real time, and you could see the realness of everything happening before your eyes instead of just imagining everything in your head. And while most of the time I prefer imagining everything in my head, sometimes cinematically it's so much cooler. So that is why I picked these movies as better than the books. The first is The Duff by Cody Keplinger. I adored this movie. It was so much fun. Compared to the book, I thought the book was really slow. It focused on a lot of things that I didn't really appreciate, but the movie definitely talked about more what being the Duff was all about and embracing yourself. I thought the movie was so funny and it was so enjoyable, in addition to the characters being really relatable. It was just a fun movie. Next, I have The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Anne Brashares. I just thought the movie was just so much more fun. Maybe because I've seen the movie first is why I prefer the movie over the book, but once again, like the Duff, this is kind of more what I expected the book to be like. Next, I'm talking about books and their movie counterparts who are equal in quality. For this category, I loved both the movie and the book equally, and I thought they were both equally great, so that's why this is a category. Sometimes one doesn't have to be better than the other. They can both be equally awesome. First, I have Howl's Moving Castle. This is by Diana Wynne Jones, and it was adapted into a Studio Ghibli film, which was fantastic. I think one of the reasons why this adaptation was so great was because it was Studio Ghibli and it just translated so well onto screen. Next is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I hope I'm saying that right. I love the movie and I love the film. The film was definitely a different take from the actual novel because the novel was written in a letter format, like a diary entry format, and obviously it wasn't really like that in the movie. However, it was just told so well, it was just so well executed that I couldn't choose between which one I liked more because they were both great. They were both fantastic. Next is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. The emotion in the movie that sometimes you might not have gotten in the book was so beautifully portrayed. Ansel Elgort, fantastic as an actor. I love him. Also Shailene Woodley, of course, but Ansel Elgort, A1. And then I'm gonna throw in The Hunger Games Catching Fire just because of the fact that so many people love this movie adaptation. I do love it, but it's not necessarily one of my favorites. I still appreciate it though. It was just so cinematically beautiful and it followed very closely to the plot of Catching Fire, so I really appreciated that as well. So for the most part, we've learned that books and their movie adaptations can be good, can be bad, they can be great, but it's all up to the directors and how they execute them. So please, directors and everyone on the movie team, please do it correctly. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!